Hello, and welcome to my new moon in Virgo card reading for September 2021. It is the day after the new moon as I record this. Yesterday was a holiday here in the United States, and so I played in the pool and enjoyed my day off. And so today I'm tuning in and creating this video for you. I watched the one from last month earlier, so I'm not going to do a review of that. If you would like to look back and see what the energies were at this time, one lunar cycle going Leo, I encourage you to go watch it. It was filled with beautiful information about the new vision and the new possibilities. And so here we are. I'm shuffling cards. Here we are at this new moon in Virgo, which is very much about we've done our research, we've gathered information, it's time to make some decisions, it's time to take action. So I recorded the new moon meditation right before this, and it was a little bit longer, it was a half-hour meditation, guided meditation, visualization, and I looked at three options, like whatever it is that you are exploring or contemplating or needing to make a decision about in your life. We did this imagery. So you have three options on the table, and how does each one feel? And what does your mind have to say about each one? And then as I guide you through the process, at the end of the meditation, you come to this self-realized decision about which one to choose. So if you're in the middle of trying to decide and you're not quite sure, and this new moon has you wanting to make some really clear intentions, but you aren't sure how to get to that place, the visualization process will be really helpful for you. So you can find the new moon meditation link in the description with today's Zen card reading, or on my website, mysouljourney.com, under store. And in my store, you'll find a whole new moon treasure chest waiting for you, including the meditation I made this morning. So here we go. We are going to pull three cards and then a couple bonus ones. The first three are going to come from my Osho Zen Tarot deck. And we're going to look at the collective now, what's happening energetically on our planet at this time, and then the individual now, and then the highest guidance from our guides of what do we do? What do we do moving forward? What is there for us to know? So you'll get a sneak peek of the meditation content just by that third card. Yeah, you ready? And I've got music playing, tea at my side, crystals in front of me. Like, we're gonna be here for a little bit. So settle in and have some fun with me. We do this once a month and it's just so good. Okay, so the first card, I've just been moving these around a little bit. First card, the collective now. We'll do one more. We'll do one more. Okay, the collective now. Damn lovers, this comes up so often for us. Haven't we figured this one out yet? You guys, like, come on. Can't we move past this? All right, we're going to see what the Lovers card has to tell us today. The individual now. Creativity. You would think I don't shuffle this deck, but I do every time. Creativity for the individual now. Man, are we in a holding pattern or what? Yay, the highest possibilities. Celebration. Celebration. Card number 3. Oh my gosh, so good. All right, let's take a look and see, see why they keep hitting us over the head with these same cards. All right, here we go. I know there is some information, some wisdom waiting for us. Isn't it funny? I'm tired of these lovers. There's like all these other cool cards in the deck. Why do we have to sit with the lovers? Okay, what do you notice first? What do you see when you look at the card? Whatever jumps out at you, like trust that your soul is saying, hey, you got to look at this card again too, not just Viv. Like, we all have to take a look at this card. So what is showing itself to you first? Yeah. All right, so what I see, because it's different every time we look at the cards. What I see first this time, I'm like, yeah, we know we need to get to this place where we're like Zen and, communicating stars to stars, stardust to stardust. Yeah. What I was drawn to today is this. It to me, for some reason today, it looks like a child and a mother. I don't know if you can see that, like little arms right here. wrapped around the mother's neck, and then the mother's big arms like wrapped around the child. And I know the face sizes are the same, I believe, but for some reason, this is how it's looking to me today. And it's like the child is loving the mother and the mother is loving the child. And there are these big wings coming out of that love, almost as if there's like angels supporting that work that is happening with the child and the mother. And then there's these roses that are just the highest fragrance, the highest gift that we can offer to, to your star. Oh, Star is gonna just say hello to whoever showed up. You may hear him barking for a moment. So hang on, we're going to pause for 1 second. We'll be right back. Okay, we're back. I think Star has saved the house. He has a very important job, is to announce anytime someone is around. So he seems to like to do that right when we're in the middle of a card reading. Almost every time, I think. I got to talk to him about it. Okay, so here's what I was seeing today. We've got the child, the mom, the roses, the angel wings. And then from that evolves this like equal to equal, this grown up to grown up, versus right here where it was the little child to the mother. And then from equal to equal, we go into this blended, merged oneness that is the highest level of love. So for those who haven't seen this card before or watched the card readings where I've had the Lover's card show up, it talks about, Osho, through Zen's teaching, talks about there are 3 forms of love. There's the lowest level of love, which is very much about like the physical body and the sexual connection between 2 people, if it's, that level of love. And then as we add meditation, we move into a more connected love that is not based on the physical, it's based on the emotions, the energy between 2 people. And then the highest form of love, so base level, meditation level, and then the level of love with source, divine love, this consciousness where we are all one connected energetic field, source. It's so funny, I was just listening to Wayne Dyer talk about this in a podcast when I was mowing the lawn on Saturday. I was just realizing why this card is showing up again. I was listening to this podcast and Wayne Dyer and Oprah were talking, and he describes the teachings from a different teacher, but the same message, that we evolve through these stages of love, and that when we are at the highest level of one love, there's no attachment, no expectation, no definition. It's just unity, full unity. And so if my attention started here at this base level, this child and mother, what I am sensing for the collective energy, the reason this card would show up for the collective now, is that we're doing some healing work as a collective. We're at this place of transforming, perhaps, or transmuting or redefining the base level of love, not so much on sex, but on healing that mother wound within each one of us. It's such a phrase in spiritual circles, and I think healing work, the mother wound. And when I hear that, I often think of, well, here's my explanation of mother wound. I guess we're going to go right to that. I believe that the most intimate connection between 2 humans would be mother and child, because you come from the womb of the mother. And if what I believe to be true is that each soul chooses their mother, each soul chooses the mother wound that they're going to be working out in their human journey, then the child choosing, let me back up, the soul choosing the path of that child and that relationship with that mother is something that is predetermined or pre-orchestrated. And so our soul knows in advance we're going to be walking this path, whatever it looks like, for that specific mother wound. And that creates the emotional journey, the work that the soul is here in the human form to do. So we aren't really the victim of that wound. The wound can't victimize us once we see that it's not actually a wound. It's a path that we chose. It's a learning, an experience that we came here to embody. And so when we're walking that path and awarenesses are coming up, we're never the victim to any of it. We chose that path. And so perhaps that is what the collective now is starting to, at a deeper level or at a more collective level, starting to explore. Are we the co-creators of our reality? If so, then I, the soul child, chose the soul mother in the human form, in this base level of love and intimacy and connection. And so whatever work needs to be happening here is going to help me evolve to this place where I see, as a human, the soul in the human body, I see everyone across from me as a co-creation in my reality. I see you, you see me. We're not in this old story, this old paradigm, this belief that there's any wound or victimization. We are equals on our way to oneness, to consciousness. That's a big card. That's a big card today. Maybe that's why it keeps coming up over and over again. It's like there's so much to this layering of love. And yeah, how do we do that, right? How do we move through this path of this? I would offer, silent contemplation, conversation with those that you love and trust, some journaling, some meditating, walks with nature. And I'll come back to another way to look at this too in 1 second. Something I created a while ago, 2 years ago, I believe, is a series of meditations. And I was going to talk about this today, but the card is bringing it forward. And it's called Loving Our Inner Child. And it's three sequences. You have a package of meditations and reflections on loving your inner child. You have a package about your relationship with your mother, and then a package with your relationship about your father. And so you can work through any of them or all three of them, and it brings awareness. It's my guidance in meditation space, showing you a pathway to look at this from this soul perspective, not from this wounded belief, but from this big soul consciousness of I am the one who chose and am creating everything that I experience, which means I look at the choice of my mother and the choice of my father and the inner child who would be walking that path. So you can find those on my website under where are they? Under offerings, meditations, offerings, courses. Courses, that's where you'll find them. Loving Our Inner Child. But the other aspect to this, the other way this card is talking to me, and it's funny because this symbol keeps popping forward, like, talk about me. I think that means something to everyone. It's a sacred geometry symbol, and so you can explore that for yourself. But perhaps the bridge from this to this is through some sort of paradigm or vortex or sacred geometry energy. So I'll just leave that where that is. The other way I see this, because of the grass, the green and the roses around it and angel wings, is the relationship of humanity to Mother Gaia. And so here we are as humans in the womb of this mother energy that is Earth. So if we see everything in terms of consciousness, Gaia would have this wing, Gaia Earth would have this wing, and all these flowers at her back. And humanity has equal, right? We come in to this relationship, this co-creation with Gaia, with all the resources that we need to play and dance and enjoy this human journey. But then we get caught up and we forget. We forget that we have this soul connection with our planet. And so perhaps this card is a reminder, a little nudge to you, like, hey, don't forget. The pathway from this human journey to this is through the arms of Gaia, being held in the womb of this planet. So maybe we should take a couple minutes here or there and connect in with Earth, huh? Okay, collective now. Individual now. Creativity. So what do you see? This is individual right now, what is accessible to you, the energy that you individually are in. So where do you see yourself in that? What colors jump out to you the most? What does it feel like the woman or man with long hair is doing? Like, what is the action that is happening? Or I'm going to bring it in so you can really see the top of that head. Okay, so here's where I'm drawn right away. It's to, I'm going to say this is a woman, and you can interpret it in any ways you'd like. I'm going to say her hand is on this, what looks like almost an eclipse, right? Like the sun is behind the moon, and her hand is holding that moon in place. So it could go either way. Either she's holding that moon to block the sun, to only allow so much light to come through her, to her. And so her hand is there to say, just a little bit, like, look how much is pouring around the sides. That's as much as I can receive, and it's filling me up, and like, right? So I'm going to put my hand there and just hold it. That's enough. Or we could say she's feeling the beauty of all of this light coming in, and she's like, wait, I'm gonna erase this shadow, this moon, this energy that is blocking all the rest of the light that I want to come have pouring in through me. It could also be she's holding this rose, this flower, and wanting to offer it as a gift of love to the moon and the sun, like both source and the shadow, or the physicality, whichever ways you see it. And her left arm, the intuitive side, the feminine side of her energy, is having this exchange up here. The right side is holding the flower, or maybe creating the flower, picking the flower, doing the action. And so there's this like combination that's happening of energy and physical. So much. There's a rainbow in the background, whatever rainbows mean to you. It feels like this is all water. There's blues going into purple, some oranges. I mean, it's almost like a watercolor in the background, but then there's this precision here with the face and the arms moving into that energetic experience. It's a lot. It feels to me overall like filled with potential. And this to me is the energy of a new moon in Virgo. It's like, what are you going to do? You've got all these ideas, all this creative expression available for you. What are you going to do with it? Is there a step that you're going to take? It's funny, that's a card 3. Celebration's a card 3. Lovers is a card 6. So maybe celebration and creativity move you along that evolutionary path of the lovers, right? For whatever numbers mean to different people. Yeah, so overall, it just feels magical. It feels like this is waiting for you to experience, if that's what you're choosing to tap into. Or your focus could be on, well, there's a black box around all of it. And so I don't know if that creativity is going to go anywhere. So I'm just going to maybe daydream about the creativity, and I'm not going to get out of this black box. I'm just going to sit with it, play with it. Virgo energy, I think, would say, do something with it. What do you want to do with it? Do you want to move the moon? Do you want to create something with the sun and the moon together? Do you want to offer that flower to somebody? Do you want to bring the flower to yourself? Like, what action are you inspired to take in this potential magical energy? It's all right here waiting. What would you like to do with it? And maybe sitting and being with it is the perfect answer, or maybe action, big action, breaking out of this black box. Like a lot of Santero's readings lately, she's been talking about the strong man that is inside this cage. And she's like, we're about at this moment of breaking out of the cage. And I feel that with this card. You know, I feel her version of breaking out would be to create, to express, to maybe paint her way out of the box, to just paint over all this black. It's like my friend Patty, who does the Buddhas, the one that I have on my wall. You know, she starts with this, like just colors on a canvas, and then slowly a form will take shape from all these colors, and you'll see the Buddha emerging from what she's creating. And then all of a sudden you have this incredible, like the one on my wall is magic. You have this incredible expression of light and consciousness that has no box. Her canvases go all the way off the sides. There's no edge to it. So it can just keep going. Just keep going. That's what I feel like. Paint yourself out of the box. Do whatever your creative expression is, and like make yourself move through whatever the boundaries are, and the box will just be, it'll disappear because it's painted over. Okay, the highest possibilities for the next lunar cycle. I mean, come on. What do you notice as you look at this card? Whatever shows itself to you. All right, so the first thing I see, it's so interesting because I haven't seen it quite this way before. So I sense sort of the contradiction as I get ready to say this. I'll just name that it feels contradictory. So you've got this rain that is coming in at an angle, and it feels like it's a powerful energy or rain that, you know, this almost looks like hurricane type weather where the branches are blowing, the leaves are flying off, and there's all this rain and it's hitting the ground, and, you know, there's so much water that they're, you know, splashing in it because it's covered the ground. And this card, if you didn't see this and it didn't look like they were smiling, it could look like they were in a dangerous situation, or the weather was out of control, and what does that mean, you know, to these three individuals? But the celebration word, the vibration of that, and the joy I can feel in their bodies, it's like the message is celebrate this moment of the elements moving around, the rain coming in, the wind blowing, the trees, the puddles, the water. Like, celebrate the magic of this physical experience. Even though it may look like it's harsh or chaotic, there is some beauty to the rawness of it, to the feeling of the senses, right? The hair blowing and the sound of the rain hitting and the feet splashing in the water. Like, you're alive in this physical moment because all of the elements are moving around you. And I get the sense of that as a message. As I clear my throat, this feels like quite a message to be saying. It feels like even when the rains are pouring, even when the wind is blowing, you're here in this physical realm. You're in a body that can touch and sense and hear and feel, and you're alive in all of that energy moving. And so can you be conscious enough? Can you be not conscious? Do you choose to find the celebration, even if it looks like it's potentially not a celebration? Can you find the majesty of this physical earth? Kind of like here where I was saying, you know, this could be humanity and Gaia. Well, we all have these angel wings and this rose, and, you know, like, it's intended to be this beautiful, blissful creation of love. And I get the sense that here we could choose to not experience it as that incredible, it's not the right words. It's a choice. That's the words I keep hearing. It's a choice. It's a choice to find the celebration. It's a choice to be in harmony with all of the elements and dance through whatever the storm is that's happening here. And we don't always choose that because it feels too chaotic, perhaps, or it feels like we're by ourselves, or we're pushing into other people, or, you know, there's so many things that could happen. And so do we choose to celebrate? And I think many times we don't. This card at this time in the new moon energy, answering the question of highest possibilities for the month ahead, it feels like it's saying choose celebration. Choose celebration because you're here in this human body, on this planet at this time, and you get to be fully alive for it. Even if it looks like chaos, you're here. Find the magic. You know, when I was little, I loved playing in the rain. I loved stomping my feet in the puddles and getting soaked and running around. Like, we stop doing that as we grow up, you know. I don't want to get wet. I don't want to mess my hair up. I don't, whatever. It like, it's so fun. I spent yesterday morning just digging in the dirt in our garden. It was just so magical. Like, it was just I think that's Virgo too. Virgo is very much about the senses, and to me, you know, feeling everything, and the physical. And so I had my hands in the dirt and I was digging up the old weeds I didn't want, and, you know, turning the soil over and feeling like all this energy moving through my hands and my body, and, you know, sweating, and the bugs were coming. But there's something very alive. Zach Bush talks about the biome as the way to health for humans, that when you've got your hands in the dirt, you've got your feet in the dirt, and you're breathing in the air created by the plants. There were all these ferns next to me, and he talks about ferns as like the best plant to be around because they're so old and they have such connection to the earth. They breathe, I don't know, he would say it better, but there's something about the way they move the energy and the oxygen around them that is really good for a human to breathe in. And so I could just feel like the energy of the ferns and, you know, the plants all around and the trees. It's just, it's such an incredible thing to be in a human body and to be connected to nature. And so I think that is what this card is saying. Like, remember that if we choose everything, if we choose, you know, to come be the child with the mother, to be in this human realm, to be with Gaia Earth, then we choose to be in whatever location and natural experience is happening around us. We choose the hot climates where we're going to get rain, or, yeah, I think you got the point. I'm going to move on. I feel like I've said enough on that one. So we're going to pull 3 more cards. These are for the highest possibilities for the next, no, that was this one. Highest possibilities for the next lunar cycle from now until a month from now, which, by the way, I want to just add this too before we move on. When I was reading in, I think it was Astro Butterfly, about the new moon in Virgo, she specifically said this has, how did she say it now? There's lots of trines happening and different tight aspects. And she said, there's nothing bad about this new moon. Like, all the energy of this new moon is about not celebration. I use the word celebration. She used the word like possibilities, potential, magic, creation. Like, you can set your sights on what you want and actually get it. Like, that's the power of this new moon. All the energies around it are so good. There's nothing negative. It's all positive. And so and she said for the next month, also for the next lunar cycle. So I feel like this is validation. Like, it's all good. Even if it doesn't look like it's good, perhaps, even if the elements aren't what you chose, what you think you chose, or what you would believe you want, there's something magical happening. There's something profoundly good that is shifting for us at this new moon, and tap into that. Tap into that. Okay, 3 cards, wisdom from our guides. The first one is going to be Vine of the Mystic by Deb, our beautiful friend in Australia. Whew, Australia, she's in some energy there. And also, like, she chose that, and she's bringing her magic to it, and she's bringing her light to it. And I'm so happy to know that Deb's energy is just firmly situated in that part of the world and breathing her light. Okay, so what do we want to ask? Wisdom from our guides. Let's look at, I think for this one, for Deb's, let's maybe look at, like, what is there to know about moving along this continuum from base level of love to more meditative to like oneness. Like, what is there for us to know? Wisdom from our guides about moving along that continuum. If that is the collective now, what is there for us to know? We'll do the 3rd card because we're doing 3s. Inner transformation. Inner transformation. What is there to know about moving along that pathway? It's inside. Isn't this exactly what I was saying? It's so good. Go ahead and take a look at the card and see what you notice. What do you see? going to offer you a couple things I see before I read from the deck. So this feels like this flower that she was holding right here. Like when, I mean, how similar are these two in a way, right? The colors and just the beauty of each of them. I feel like as you sit inside, you hold the wisdom, the fragrance, the beauty, the pathway, the rose, the gift, like you hold all of it inside of you. And as you do this inner work, this flower will open and bloom, and it'll come from what you were working on inside, which is what creativity says, right? Like you're going to create something, but it's going to come from within. And then I also see like this little, it looks like an antenna at the top of her head from her crown chakra. And then also her ears are so open. They're listening. They're hearing whatever the messages are. Her mouth is closed. Her eyes are closed. Like these, like the top antenna and these ears feel like antenna. So she's bringing whatever the sounds and the wisdom and information is down and in. Right? She's relying on her throat chakra, her ears, more than what her eyes are showing her. So to me, that describes like vibration frequency is more important than what she sees externally around her. Card number 23. Let's see. No, not 23, 25. Inner transformation. Okay, here's what Deb has to say. Allow yourself to shed your skin. You are transforming again. This is a time of anticipation and impatience. You are close to flowering and cannot hurry the process. The beauty is in the moment, moment by moment. Being present and holding your center is the key. The task is time. Being present and holding your center is the key. Yes. Yes. Thank you, Deb. Exactly that. So what is there to know about the pathway from this to this? It's inside. You hold the key. Be patient. The transformation is there for you. I love playing with Deb in this way. It's so fun. So fun. What is time and distance? Nothing, right? Doesn't mean anything. Okay, wisdom from our guides. This is from the Lightseers Tarot by Chris-Anne. And let's ask for some information about creativity. So if this is the individual now, what more is there for us to know? What wisdom would our guides offer us about the creativity that we are in right in this moment? I'm gonna do the third card down again. This is good. What is there to know about creativity? What does this card say to you? It's the 10 of Wands. What does this card say to you? Oh my God, I literally had, I don't know, a 5 or 10 minute conversation with a friend about this exact card. So what does it say to you as you look at this? What do you notice? How do you feel? Yeah, I'm actually going to read a little bit about it to you because it's so open to interpretation, and I don't want to insert my interpretation over everything. So I'm going to offer you a couple alternatives for this one. Okay, here's what it says. Taking on too much, an opportunity to free yourself from heavy burdens, obligations, finding yourself close to a successful outcome, the need to prioritize, a message to keep going. All those responsibilities. Do you really need to carry all those wands all by yourself all at the same time? Couldn't you drop a few of them by prioritizing? Or maybe things would go a whole lot faster if you enlisted some help. All you have to do is ask. Drop the non-essentials and any heaviness that is weighing you down because you are so, so close, yet so, so burdened. Think levity and ease. Streamlining will expedite your goals and bring relief to any overwhelm or molasses energy that you are feeling. Sometimes this means letting go of a learned behavior or a limiting belief, and sometimes it means deleting a task on your calendar. Whether your burdens are material, spiritual, literal, or energetic, it's clear that you've got some extra baggage to release, or extra baggage right now. Release that and enjoy your last steps to the finish line. Okay, here's what I would offer. Here's what I would offer. The pathway to creativity is get rid of some of this stuff. Get rid of some of the stuff and change the landscape. So see how brown and drab and dreary, and she's got like a heavy coat on, and everything is just like, oh, feel the contrast to this, which is color and movement and flow and light and play, and, you know, like reaching her hands up, looking up, where here she's like, oh. This to me feels like wisdom from our guides saying, which one do you want? If you're in this, how do you get to this? Start by bringing some color in. Start by putting the bags down. Start by claiming a day. Maybe your answer for the new moon in Virgo right now is take a day off work. Like play hooky for a day and paint. Sit down and draw and color and like be a child again. Have some fun. Tap back into your inner child and play, because this is not the optimal way to live, I don't believe. Maybe you're enjoying it, but if this card resonates with you, this is how you're feeling, I don't think this is what we came here on earth to experience. I think we came here more for this. So you're the one in control. There's no one around you. I mean, I know it probably feels like there's a boss, you know, maybe whipping you at your back, or a spouse pushing at you, or a child pulling at you, or, you know, there's so many ways we could say someone else is creating this reality for me, but that doesn't feel true. You create your own reality. And so if this is your experience, is this what you want? And maybe the new moon in Virgo is offering you this time, this pause to go, what do I want? What is it I came here to experience? And if I'm not getting it, how do I move to that? Is there someone else who's going to create that for me, or do I create it for myself? And so create. And these cards are direct today. Either that or my energy is direct. I'm not sure. Maybe it's a combination of both. This is Virgo, right? Isn't Virgo usually like rough? I'll tell you how it is. I have a lot of Virgos in my life, and I love all of them, even the ones who are like, do this, do this. Okay, last wisdom from our guides is coming from the Mystical Shaman Oracle deck, and we're going to explore this celebration idea. So if the wisdom from our guides, let me back up. If this card was the highest possibilities for the next lunar cycle, so from now through the next new moon, which is going to be in Libra, if the highest possibility is celebration, what is there for us to know about that? With everything that I shared about celebration and the idea of being in harmony with the elements and feeling our humanness within Gaia's, you know, beautiful womb and energy, then what would our guides, I feel like I need to always show you, like, look, it's legit. It's legit. Virgo would have me show you, like, it's for real. These are the cards. All right, one more time. And we're going to pull the third card. And this is more information about celebration. Let's see what it says. The Holy Mountain. How do we celebrate the Holy Mountain? What do you notice about this card? It's funny. I think the one of Dubs was a 25 and this one's a 52. No, it's a 25 also. I'm looking at backwards. So if 7 means something to you, there's 2 7s from our guides and then a 10. What do you notice? So interesting. I haven't seen this before when I've looked at this card. Do you see? It looks like a person here celebrating with their arms out, another set of arms. It looks like there's a face there with hands holding the face. I've never seen that, but it feels like the mountain itself has all of these energies within it. My friend Tara sees she sees people in trees. It's the coolest thing, like legit people. And then my friend Lisa sees people in flowers. I feel like there are people in these rocks, you know, like the holy mountain is, okay, let me back up. Wisdom from our guides about celebrating. I feel like there is energy consciousness in everything, in trees and rocks, in everything that is created and existed. And so even the mountains are filled with the stories and the celebrations that support holding this one individual up in this moment of connection to source and the moon. It also looks like there's an angel up here above the sun and the moon. And I like the play of the sun and the moon here and then also here, like how connected those are. Yeah, it's funny. I don't think I noticed before. It's a green ball. Maybe it's Earth with the sun, but it felt like a moon when I was looking at it. Anyway, we digress. So I'll read to you about this card because it has a beautiful message. I've gotten this a few times in my own card pulls. I'm partial to some cards over others. I like the messages more than I do other ones. Okay, so here's what this card says. I need my glasses. Sometimes I believe that I don't. Then I try read and I realize that I do. Okay, what's interesting is as I put this card up, put my glasses on, and put the book down, the Lover's card flew to the floor. So here's what I'm feeling. So the question, the question I asked about how do we move along the pathway of the lovers was answered by Deb's card, Inner Transformation. You go inside. You go inside and the answers are there. And then this was to answer the highest possibilities for the next lunar cycle, which is celebration. I feel like the holy mountain is where we dissolve, we reach maybe the completion of the Lover's card. We move all the way from the base to the meditation phase, all the way up to the oneness with source. We do that at the holy mountain. And so just threw that card to the floor. Here's what it says. The essence, native people around the earth recognize mountains as places of great power, where one encounters spirit, or where the gods or goddesses reside. In ancient Greece, Mount Olympus was the home of the 12 main gods and goddesses. In Tibet, pilgrims circumambulate Mount Kailash to bring prosperity. In Peru, pilgrims climb the ice-capped Mount Ostingate to receive the starlight and bring fire to the earth. The holy mountain invites you to go on a sacred pilgrimage to acquire vision and perspective. First, you must accept the present situation as an opportunity to discover higher understanding. Find a sacred altar where others who came before you have prayed and found wisdom, and make your offering there. Make a commitment to walk with courage, love, and compassion until you see with clarity the perfection of it all. All right, I'm going to bring it full circle, although I don't have the card because it's on the floor. When I made the choice to be born, I was born in Cape Town, and I didn't know this until just, I don't even know, a year ago, maybe 2 years ago. So I was born in this little hospital called Fishhook Hospital right outside of Cape Town. And my mom told me there's a picture that I have that was painted, a painting that hangs in my living room that was my parents, and it was their favorite, and I loved it. And I asked if I could have it and keep it here. And so it sits right in the center of our living room. And then one day when my mom was over, she was telling me that the mountain range that's in that painting is on the backside of the hospital where I was born. And she said that mountain range is called the 12 Apostles. And that's like my holy mountain. Like, I love that. Now as an adult, because I've done all that inner child work, I've looked at the relationships with my parents. And so I can sit in that knowing like I chose the best mom and dad who have been incredible teachers to me. And what a cool birth story I chose, to be born in a hospital with the 12 apostles at my back, at my mom's back, holding my dad steady. You talk about an arrival into earth, you know? And there were hundreds, probably thousands of other babies who've also been born with the 12 apostles at their back, but I get to claim that story along with them. And so I feel that in this moment, like the 12 apostles, what were all the other ones? All the other ones that they're talking about here, all the holy mountains, all of the teachers, all of the guides, like they sit in the energy and the consciousness of everything that is created here on earth. And we get to sit in this moment, this quiet stillness within, and tap into everything they've ever created. I mean, how do you not celebrate that? How do you not celebrate that? With like all these teachers, we get to sit on what they have created. Where was I just talking about that? I just talked about that. The teachers. Was it the lyrics in a song? Oh, I'll have to remember where I did that, but I remember specifically talking about, it's so funny, my mind is like, not relevant, we're not going to let you see that piece of information. Oh, it was the Gene Keys. That's where it was. Oh, this is so good. It's so perfect. So isn't that funny? And my mind was like, you will remember, or my soul, you will remember this because it's a beautiful nugget. So I read the Gene Keys. My friend Andrea and I are quietly listening healing sessions every other Wednesday. We've been working through the Gene Keys profile, hologenetic profile. And last week it talked specifically about we stand on, it was a phrase that Richard Rudd wrote, we stand on the shoulders of all who have taught before us. And we allow those who are going to teach after us to stand on our shoulders. And so the lineages of wisdom keep transferring from generation to generation. That's what I feel in this. It's like, look at whose energy we are standing on, the wisdom, the teachings. And we get to sit and close our eyes and tap into this foundation underneath us and open up to the energy of source, to the angels, to all the consciousness that exists in the universe. Like, what? Of course you're going to celebrate. This is what we get to do on planet Earth. Celebrate that. Like, how incredible that we are offered this moment of time to absorb all the wisdom and then create something new, to be the ones who are standing on the shoulders and offering the next expression. New moon in Virgo, like, use this energy, take the wisdom and create something that has not been created before, that is uniquely yours. I mean, drop the baggage. So the pathway to all of that is to sit in your own holy mountain and tap into the wisdom. It's what I do all the time. All of my creations, everything that flows through me is infused with what I've read or heard or understood or felt or received as a transmission of energy from all the teachers before. I have an article I'm submitting today to Mind Body Green that is, here I'll claim it, that's called Light as Medicine. And it's about this process I have tapped into that stands on the shoulders of Louise Hay and Wayne Dyer. And it's this expression of, you are light, we are all light. So bring that light into your own body and use it as a healing mechanism, as a resource. Light is medicine. And so how do we do that? And I created all these amazing guided meditations that show you how to use light for headaches and stomach and eyes and ears and, you know, all the stuff that is human, so that you can just be this embodied soul dancing and celebrating and like the majesty of the holy mountain that is you. So good. It's so good. All right, there we go. New moon in Virgo. Good stuff happening. Such good stuff happening. I'm going to close this and combine the video and post it on all the platforms where I post it. And then I invite you to tune into the new moon meditation if you're looking for guidance. 3 options to explore what you are contemplating right now. 3 options. And which one do you choose? The process will guide you into an answer. And then you also get to play in the new moon manifestation circle energy here, where we're going to be writing our intentions and sending that energy out to the stars. So, awesome. I will see you in 1 month.